For those of you who have not heard about our liquid foundation, it is the most sought after liquid foundation on the market. When it first came out, we had a really hard time keeping up with orders because we were selling, like, in 3 weeks' time, we sold out of a 6-month inventory of our liquid foundation. It was insane. So it flies off the shelf. It is absolutely amazing, and you guys are going to love this. For those of you who have heard about our liquid foundation, I would love to hear how much you love it. And feel free to post before and after pictures in the comments on this post, because we would all love to see it. Before you apply any foundation at all, you always want to use a primer. It is so important. It's going to smooth out fine lines and wrinkles. It's going to keep the foundation floating above all of that, so it's not going to sink in. And even people who have larger pores, same thing. It's going to keep the foundation floating above that so that it doesn't sink into those, and because that makes, what am I trying to say? It when you have foundation that kind of sinks into it, it makes it more apparent, more visible. So you don't want that. So the liquid, or the Glorious Primer, again, the packaging is just a little bit different, but that is going to smooth everything over on your skin and help you get that Photoshop look. Okay, now our foundations, all of them, stay on really well the way it is, even through sweating. But it's even better when you use the primer, okay? The primer is silky, very soft. It's not oily at all. It's a silky feeling, okay? This is going to help your foundation stay on even longer. It almost makes it, I want to say, like waterproof or water resistant. Maybe not waterproof, but water resistant. So it's really great. You'll love it. That is one of my customers' favorites. It's very popular. So anyways, here is our Liquid Touch Foundation, Photoshop in a bottle, as we like to call it. And when you get that, you want to be sure to unscrew the dropper and then squeeze it all out into the bottle. Put the lid back on it and mix it really well. Shake it up because it separates in the bottle, and it's also separated in the tube. So you want to be sure that you squeeze that all out of the tube into the bottle and mix it all up really well before you apply it. That way you get good coverage. A lot of people automatically shake it up, but they don't always necessarily think about emptying it out of the dropper first. Okay, so I'm using organza. If you're not sure what shade you should use, let me know. I can help you shade match and be sure that we get you the right shade. Okay, literally 5 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one almost missed the brush. Okay, so I've got 5 drops. I'm just going to take it and kind of dab it, and then I'm going to start doing circle motions and blend everything. Can you see the difference? Now, it goes on as a liquid, dries as a powder. The coverage is amazing. It's hard to believe that 5 drops gives you a flawless finish. Now, when you have a couple of breakouts, or like me, you have freckles, you can add more, not a whole lot more. If you add too much, it doesn't dry correctly, I guess, is the way that I want to say. So I'm going to add a couple more drops. Okay. Sometimes I like to cover my freckles more days than others. Some days I don't care. And other days I just really want to cover my freckles. And again, you just buff it out. It's not that big of a deal. Literally does not take long at all to do your foundation. Okay, so that's the liquid foundation. Done. Now, if you want more coverage, then you can follow it up with a foundation or the powder foundation to set it. You know, you can do that if you want. Some people, just because they're used to doing that all the time, just automatically want a powder. There are days that I want, again, even more coverage. So I love our powders because they are so velvety soft and lightweight. Like, none of this feels like you have anything on your skin. It's amazing. Okay, that's it. Your foundation. Didn't take long at all. I'll tell you real quick what I call our Flawless 4 set. It's not actually a set. I just kind of put it all together because if you want that flawless finish, you want these 4 products. Okay, this is our liquid concealer and the Glorious Primer, your foundation, and a powder puff brush. I personally like the powder puff brush better than the liquid foundation brush. It's just my preference. A lot of people prefer the liquid foundation brush over the powder puff. It just depends on what you like. The bristles on the powder puff or the liquid brush are shorter and more, I want to say more compacted, so it doesn't sink down into the brush near as much as it will the powder puff. But on either brush, it's because it dries to a powder, it isn't going to make your brush gunky. I was kind of worried about that when we first came out with it, but it doesn't do that at all. So again, it's just preference. I personally prefer the powder puff, but a lot of people love and swear by the liquid foundation brush. All right, stay tuned for more great tips and tricks and information.